Hey folks, Dave Ski here, letting you guys know about 2D Talks, a great laid-back podcast / audiogram that works as kind of a lead-out show. So after discussing all the mostly robust topics within the FBA demographic, come on over and kick back with the most regular man cave show on the net, 2D Talks, two dudes talking about all kind of dish. For instance, we released the game episode. Whenever we hit 300 likes or subs, the game episode is where we discuss the wisdom of legendary P, Jimmy Star.
Rest in power.
From a hip square perspective, so that you may obtain esoteric knowledge of the game to help you get ahead in everyday life in the US. Just search
2DTAAKS.
2D Talks, swing on through when you can, as we're giving free shout-outs to any local FBA companies. I think you'll enjoy our content, so stop by soon. Thanks. Dave Ski, one love.
We'll see where that goes. But they'll tell you, even then, that's for the Kenyans and the Ghanaians and etc. only.
Yeah.
No one else. Foreigners cannot be involved. So that's all I wanted to, bring up about these people. And then lastly, where can I get Mac lessons? Because brother, I'm seeing all kind of women in this space.
Oh yeah, you can get it on Amazon. You get it on Amazon. But to what you're saying about that, man, look, it's over in Africa, man, in some of those countries. When we go over there and try to get land and all, it's way too many finesse games, man. It's too many finesses for me, especially over there in Ghana. I've seen people get land and then they'll flip on them and like, oops, the state has to take the land back. The government has to take the land. And I've seen videos of the police standing around while Black Americans' house is just getting pillaged by people coming in and taking all of their stuff. It's too many finesses for me. I'm cool. Wakil. What's up, Wakil?
What's going on, bro? What's popping?
I'm good, Wakil. How are you?
I'm all right. Hey, I wanted to ask you, right? Do you think because of what went down with Vlad a while ago, do you think your interview that you did with him is gonna eat at the morale of the FBA movement?
How so? How could that eat at the morale of it?
In the sense that everybody had isolated Vlad to try to starve him out. You know what I'm saying? To where as though there could be a black Vlad in the sense that somebody would come up that would have just as much, status and clout as Vlad because Vlad been starved out.
Well, the thing is, Vlad is not starved out. Vlad still has a big platform. And what happens is, and this is the problem, whenever there are platforms that's growing and getting big, there's too many Sambos online trying to tear the damn thing down. You understand? Whenever we get platforms where we're trying to get information, we get attacked by sucker-ass Negroes. The Black Channel, Black Truth, Jason Black, I get attacked all the time by all of these damn Sambos. And then we get attacked by the other white supremacists, and then they're working with the Sambos. So whenever we try to get our platforms huge, we got to battle all these damn people. And nobody's attacking Vlad's platform. Vlad's platform is pretty consistent. It hasn't waned. It hasn't starved out. These are still big platforms. They're not being attacked like ours. And we got to really deal with that part of the game. Whenever we start getting stuff popping, let's be real. We got a lot of ops and provocateurs and people trying to undermine it in these circles, and they're supposed to be about empowerment, even on these Twitter spaces. Y'all know, look, we see all the little slick dissing that goes on in these damn Twitter spaces. Let's keep it above. People stay in these little Twitter spaces, dissing each other, undermining each other, plotting on each other, exposing private DMs, exposing people's home addresses. It's all types of foolery that goes on these damn Twitter spaces. We got so many ops in these spaces. You understand? Let's keep it a buck. And when we try to grow platforms and grow other industries, too many people are out here trying to sabotage them. And that's a major problem. And nobody does anything about the saboteurs. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody does anything about that. Let's get Adonis live in here. Adonis live. Hop on in here, bro. Adonis live.
Oh my God. Tariq Nasheed, bro. I've had so many people tell me that I needed to link up with you. I needed to speak to you. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know about me or
I, I think I've seen some of your videos where you're in the UK, right? Are you in the
yeah,
UK now, or do you go over
I
there?
yeah, I literally was in New York for like a full month and I
Okay.
just touched back down yesterday. So
Oh, cool.
uh yeah, so no, I want to say, I appreciate everything you're doing. I like the motion that you got. I like everything that you've been saying and pushing forward. I've been sitting here doing a little bit of research on you and what you've been about and how you've been pushing the needle forward with our particular community.
Hmm.
And uh it was a proud moment. It was a proud moment for the community itself to sit down and say, yo, you really need to speak to Tariq Nasheed because you guys are like on the same type of time. And this is before I even knew about you, It was just so like I just like kind of like when I started making these videos in general, it was just like I had questions, I had questions that didn't make sense. And I was in Europe, so I started asking questions and recording it, and then next thing you know, bada boom, bada bang. So I definitely want to give you all your flowers while you still here.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
While
Yeah.
you still here.
Now, what made you live out there in the UK? What made you go out there?
Oh, all right. So it's been a minute. I've been like, I got, one thing led to another, and an opportunity led to another opportunity. Like I was flying around. I was originally an acrobatic dancer. I did like America's Got Talent, Romania's Got Talent, and then I got tired of working for other people in their venues, and then I said, you know what? I want to build my own platform, and I got a couple of things on my mind that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
And then I eventually just flew to the UK and they all spoke English out here. And I just thought to myself, I said, you know what? I'm not gonna go back to America until I got my shit together. Excuse my language, but until I
Right.
got
Right.
my shit together, my finances, everything. And this year was the year where I had everything lined up and everything was together. So I flew back and, you know, met up with my family after 7 years, and it was just a good moment.
So your family's in the UK, or they
Nah,
out here?
yeah, my family's all from New York. They all
Okay.
from there.
Now, any of them from the Caribbean? Because a lot of New York is in the Caribbean.
Nah, that's crazy. Like a lot of people, even when I got down to New York, because of this X spaces, everybody's like, you really need to do your genealogy. You need to know your lineage. And I said, okay. So that was mainly one of the second reasons why I wanted to go back to New York, so I could actually speak with my grandparents, do my genealogy, and none of them from the Caribbean. My mother's side is all Black American, going straight back to Virginia, back to like as far as I did it so far as the 1850s, and then my father's side is like Navajo Indian. So
Yeah. That's what's up, man. So yeah, we got to connect, man. So yeah, send me a DM. Am I following you? I should be following you.
we gonna
Oh,
tap in. Are you ever coming out to Europe?
I can't go to the UK because I'm banned. I'm banned from the UK, but other
What?
parts of Europe, yeah, yeah, they banned me from. Yeah, it's
That's
a
crazy.
long story. Yeah, I'm straight up banned from going to Britain.
That's a video though. That's a video.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would love to know that story.
yeah. We'll chop it up. We'll chop
Yeah,
it
we'll
up.
definitely chop it up.
All
Keep
right,
up the great work. I don't want to slow down your room. Keep moving. Shout out to the community, and I'm definitely gonna tap in with you.
no doubt. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I really, I'm still trying to get that rectified. By the way, that me being banned, I hollered at a lawyer out there like a couple of months ago, and I still got to follow up with some people to try to get that ban lifted. What's up, brother Sage in the building?
Brother Flex, how you doing tonight, bro?
I'm good, Sage. What's on your mind, brother?
So first of all, I want to apologize for Brooklyn coming up here sounding crazy. Again, there's no leader of the lineage. No one asks who's the leader of Jamaicans and what's the plan for Jamaicans. So
Yeah,
don't come up here asking Flex, what's the plan, because that puts a target on our brother. I think that's not the right thing to do. I think that you should empower yourself and you can use Flex as like inspiration, but that's it. He's not a leader. He's never claimed to be, and he
Right.
never will.
Yes,
As
sir.
far as brother, you touched up on that situation in New York about so the dude's name is Chad Irish, the
Yes.
wheelchair dude.
Yeah.
Now I can't confirm that the dude's Caribbean, but the area Kips Bay that he lives in is flooded with Caribbeans out there. Specifically, like it's like in the 20s in Manhattan. That area is flooded with Caribbeans.
Is
So
that Brooklyn?
no, that's Manhattan. Mm-mm.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Now the girl that he killed by her name, she sounds FBA.
Okay.
Yasmin Williams. I can't obviously we can't confirm that, but my question to you, Flex, is that this dude has gotten arrested 21 times before this. How
Wow.
in the hell was he still rolling around in the streets over here?
Wow. Wow. Hey, man, but the
21
community,
times.
wow, that's crazy. But a shout out to the community for putting them hands and feet on his ass, though, because they let him have it. But yeah, that's insane, man. But thank you so much, Sage. But yeah, that's crazy, man. It's getting ridiculous. And by the way, the movie Microphone Check is going to be in New York next week at Quad Theaters. What's the name of the theater? Hold on. Quad Cinema in Manhattan. It's going to be out there starting Friday. So Quad Cinema, that's 34 West 13th Street out there in Manhattan. That's where Microphone Check is going to be shown in New York next week. And I might be out there in New York for the Friday the 19th or Saturday the 20th showing of the film. I might be out there. My publicists, they're trying to get me to go out there because they've invited a lot of members of the press out there, but I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get my scheduling together because I'm going to be in Atlanta and DC doing TV stuff. So we're trying to work all of that stuff out. Let's get okay, speaking of tether. All right, let's get Devin the tether. Let's get Devin in here. All right, Devin the tether, what's on your mind, Devin? Let's hear you. Devin, hop on. Got to let Devin say what he got to say. All right, Devin, hop on, man.
Okay.
Devin, are you boiling Joel off right now? What's that sound in the back?
Listen. Okay. I will tell you. I cannot speak. I cannot speak.
Nigga, why are you whispering? Are you trying to catch bush meat right now? You trying to sneak up on some bush meat?
Listen.
Call us after
Listen.
you get the bush meat,
Listen.
dude.
Listen.
This nigga's trying to sneak up on a meerkat. Man, call us when you're done getting your food, brother. Just call us back, man. Damn. All right.
Listen.
Call us after you eat. This nigga's in the damn bush trying to catch an antelope for some bush meat. All right. Shh. No. I see it, nigga. Hold up. No, call us when you finish eating, brother. Damn. All right, let's see who else is in here. We got a lot of people in here. A lot of people in here. All right. All up whispering. What the hell wrong with you? All right, let's get DZ in the building. DZ. DZ in the building. Oh, DZ bounced. Okay. Let's get professional race beta. All right. Professional race beta. All right, professional race beta, hop on.
What's the word, Flex?
My man, how are you, sir?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I got two questions. So when we get a hate crime bill, do you believe that? I mean, do you think it'd be beneficial, or they can do something to where, like, if there is a hate crime that's happened to a Black American, that it could be grounds for deportation?
Possibly. Possibly. Because yeah, if you commit a crime, especially a federal crime, they're gonna ship you up out of here for the most part. But yeah, that would be a great option. And also, man, when we get as long as we get a hate crime on paper, just as long as it's on paper, we can enforce that, and we'll have the legal justification to enforce it. That's why they don't want to give it to us, because they know that we will enforce it. You see? All right. Let me see. We got over 1,000 people in here right now. So a lot of y'all in here. What's up, Wani? I see my sister Wani down there on the bottom. Everybody, raise your hand if you're ready to get up. If you are ready to get up, everybody raise your hand. So when I get you up, you are ready and your microphone is locked and loaded. Let's get J Bug in the building. J Bug, where you at, brother?
Hello?
Oh, it's a woman. Hey, J Bug.
Hey, what's up?
How are you, dear?
I'm good. I was just wanting to help answer that other guy's question about like what's the plan.
Yes.
There's actually something that I've been thinking about. You talked about just, culture and organizing and getting, on code.
Yes.
And one thing that I've been thinking about is one thing that, I live in California and I know that the Asians and the Jews both have this a website. Um and I was thinking that would be beneficial for us. For example, just starting off with the reparations thing, you could set up a website or pay someone to set up a website where you people FBA people from all around the world that have seats in government positions, whether it be city on the city or state level, lawyers can register profiles so they can connect with each other to start organizing reparation laws and meetings in their wherever they are across the United States.
Hmm.
For example, with the businesses, you mentioned plumbers, electricians, um, lawyers. I was
Yeah.
thinking FBA on that website. We just have an FBA database where people could register their jobs so that, people need to look for a black lawyer, a black plumber, a black electrician. They could go to their profile or look to see if anyone fits, is in their area, an FBA that fits what they need. And that's one way we could start organizing.
That's a good idea. That's a very good idea, sis. And you know
Yeah.
what's interesting? On one of these white supremacist websites, because we got to understand people in the dominant society, they get on certain websites and they share little stories with each other. And there's one white supremacist website where a lot of professional white people, they get in these message boards and these chat rooms and they brag about using their profession to undermine black people. Yeah, you have white lawyers who get in these little racist chat rooms and they brag about thwarting cases involving black people, messing up black people's cases. You have doctors who go in and brag about giving black people the wrong medicine and things like that. They brag about that stuff on their little message boards. So, um, what the sister said was actually a good idea, and we've always said, hey, we need some of our black lawyers and some of our black professionals to kind of step up and let us know who they are, so that we can network with them. That's why I like to do events publicly, so we can get together and network with each other and know who's who and know who's around the country. When we did the Rally for Reparations in DC, that was a great networking event. I met a lot of phenomenal people that I'm still corresponding with. So just being around each other and just kind of vibing and politicking, that's always a good start. Let's get Somalian guy, whatever your name is.
Hey, Tariq, I just wanted to know when are you going to start your microphone check West Coast edition?
You know what? We need to start that soon. I do want to start that later on this year because that's another big story and piece of the puzzle that we need to talk about, because that story is being left out too.
But can you do films on every region, the South, the Midwest?
Yeah, I possibly could. I possibly could. But there's so many other films that I want to do. I kind of do things that I'm very passionate about. But yeah, but the West Coast one, we might have to start on that later this year. Have you seen Microphone Check yet? Well, he's gone. Oh, he left. I didn't get him out of here. He bounced. Let's get Dustin Tucker. Let's get Dustin Tucker. What's up, Dustin? I'm good, Dustin. How are you? What's up? What are you doing?
Oh, doing all right. I want to just speak to the point where like, you got a kind of a fast moving flow here, so I'll just skip the niceties and get to the point of my question.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So just from a simply logical view, okay, we live in America.
Okay.
We live in a country to where our so like say our collective retirement fund, aka Social Security, is obviously not sustainable in any sort of capacity for the next, 20, yeah, we'll say 20 years. I think Social Security is going to probably go bankrupt in the next 10 years. But we'll just, for the sake of argument, we'll say 20 years. Okay. If we live in a country to where our Social Security system is on paper going to be bankrupt in a short number of years, how can you square how we're tell me how you're going to fit reparations into our schema of country spending here, because like to be honest, I'm not for reparations. I'll be perfectly honest with that. But that aside, it just doesn't make any sort of logical sense whenever we're failing as a society to uphold the current systems we already have in place, which is going to go bankrupt and screw all the people that are 40 and above right now that are actively paying into Social Security. So how can we do reparations yet we can't fund our own Social Security? How do you square that?
Dustin, did we go bankrupt when we sent billions of dollars to the Ukraine?
No, we didn't. I don't support that spending, but
Don't
that's
matter if
beside
you
the point of
support
what
it
I'm
or not.
asking.
Don't matter if you support it or not. Did we go bankrupt? We didn't go bankrupt, did we?
No, we didn't. But I'm paying literally when I go to Walmart. I
We
have a
didn't go.
family. I have a family of six.
No, wait,
Okay.
let's hold the anecdotes. Hold the anecdotal thing. We didn't go bankrupt.
Okay.
The society is still fine. There's a
Well,
bunch
that's
of
anecdotal in itself.
right. Yeah, no, but the society didn't go bankrupt. This is what I'm saying. When
No,
all of
but
these
it pushed us closer though. Would you not agree?
no, because they're still
No.
giving money to people. When these illegal immigrants come over and they're giving them billions of dollars in housing and credit debit cards and food stamps and welfare and all other services, medical services. I'm talking billions of dollars. We didn't go bankrupt, Dustin. We didn't go
We
bankrupt.
haven't went bankrupt yet. No, you're right. You're 100% right when you say, did we go bankrupt? No, we didn't. We haven't
Right,
went bankrupt yet.
right. And when we get
Yet.
reparations,
But
and
we're
when we get
steadily headed toward that every year. What do you mean?
not, Dustin, when we get reparations, we're not going to go bankrupt because that's going to stimulate the economy. That money is going to bounce within the American economy, and that's going to boost the economy, sir. That's going to be a lifeline to save this economy because we, as foundational Black
How?
Americans, because we're going to create businesses, we're going to circulate those funds within the society and make the economy more robust. That's going to be a phenomenal thing. The money is not going to be sent outside of the country. The money is going to be spent within the country. So it's not going to hurt it. It's going to help it, Dustin. Let my brother Marcel chime in. Brother Marcel, hop on, sir.
Hey Tariq, yeah, I just want to respond to Justin's point. We first of all, this whole Social Security is going bankrupt. That's a fair marketing point this nation has been using for decades, by the
Yeah,
way. But number two, Social Security, the irony, Social Security was introduced when America was technically supposed to be bankrupt. It was introduced during the Great Depression.
right.
And at that time, the federal government, as they can still do now, was covering all of the funds. So when America was supposedly at its brokest during the Great Depression, they introduced Social Security and they introduced trillions of dollars in other programs, the New Deal jobs projects. If they did it then, and that brought America's economy back roaring strong, like Tariq said. And when the money is spent on the American public, it's an investment. And if
Yep.
America was truly concerned about being bankrupt, which they're not because they know that's impossible, they will be taxing these large corporations that saves tens of trillions of dollars each year. That just goes to the point that they know they have the money, they can generate it, they need to pay up, and they will. I'll land there.
Thank you so much. So there it is, just brother Dustin. The money is not going to go outside of the country. That money is going. The money is here. We got the money. We're not going to go bankrupt. The sky is not going to fall. We're going to get justice, and that's going to be a great look for the country, right?
I mean, I can kind of see that argument. Guy, can I ask you this? I don't know how well off everybody else is that's up here talking, right? I don't know how well off you are. I don't know you from Adam up the road. Okay, so I don't know what your cost of living is. But for the average American, like I said, I have 4 kids, wife. I'm the single breadwinner for our family. So a family of 6. I'm living paycheck to paycheck here, and that's
Mhm.
not because of lack of effort. Like I work every day. I work weekends. I work as much as I can. Um, but I still can't make it based off the inflation rates and how the society has constructed itself to make it any better for the normal American person. So,
But here's the
I
problem. Here,
guess the point.
Dustin. Here's the problem. The United States government never did anything to marginalize you or other white people. They didn't do anything to
But that's not. You're arguing your whole point. I'm arguing something separate from race. Like take race out of it. Like at this point, the function of the country doesn't give a shit about what color you are. We're all going to starve together. Okay, but logically speaking, it just doesn't make any sense to add a multiple billions of dollars worth of a tax on people just to hand out to other people in
That's
the
what
current situation we're
was,
in.
Dustin. That's what slavery was. It was never corrected. They sat here and put my people in bondage and made us generate all of this wealth so that your family can come over and everybody else's family can come over and enjoy the wealth of the United States. And they left that wealth marginalized from us. We couldn't get a hold of it like that. And they never compensated us. And the trauma and the debt has been passed down generationally based on our lineage. Okay? So yeah, you
Okay, I
comparing
mean,
yourself.
fair enough, but that doesn't dispute the argument I have. Okay, we're all
It kind of
drowning in the
does.
same boat. We're all in the
Not
same
really.
boat.
No,
And now you're like, hey, look, guys, a good idea would be to take this cannon and blow a hole
we're
in the
not in the
same boat that
same
we're
boat.
all sailing on,
We're not in the same
and
boat,
sink us
Dustin.
all.
We're not in the same boat because the government didn't do anything to marginalize or to thwart or to sabotage your lineage. They did it to
Wait, wait,
my.
wait, so you're not an American,
Yeah, I'm a foundational Black American, but
but you're an American.
this government had policies sabotaging me and my community, sir.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that. I agree with you. But we're not talking about that's not the argument that I'm making right now. We're actually
But
talking
that's the
about logical, we're talking about logical fiscal arguments. We are all in the same boat as far as
no. We're not
tax
all in the same.
burdens.
We're not all in the
I'm
same.
talking about as a United States citizen. If I go broke, if the United States falls tomorrow and goes into bankruptcy, you are affected just as much as I am. Correct?
But it's not going to do that, sir. And we're
But
not
is if we what do you mean? How can you say that? Are you an economist?
because it's not. It hasn't. It's not going to. The country's not going to fall anytime soon. It only we
Just
only
because
hear
it
that
hasn't doesn't mean we aren't
we
on decline.
we only hear that Mad Max talk when it's up to giving foundational Black Americans our reparations, and all of a sudden the country's gonna fall in the next 2 weeks. No, it ain't. We need our money.
That's not true. That's not all right. That's not fair. Okay, because
That's very fair.
espouse these arguments. I espouse these arguments to everyone, black, white, Democrat, Republican. I espouse these views to everyone because it logically makes sense. To hell with you being offended about being black and you need payback shit. This that. And we can talk about that, but
Mm-hmm.
logically, as United States citizens, as Americans, it we are already spending more than we take in
Well, give
taxes.
well, then hurry up and give us our money so that the money don't run out.
Well, okay, you say that, but that's not a logical argument. You
That's
can't make a
completely.
logical
It's
argument.
logical.
You- you-
It's logical when they give the red natives their money on a monthly basis. The country didn't
I ain't
fall.
good with that either.
I don't. You keep saying what you don't agree with, but it's still happening. So you don't agree with reparations, and it should still happen. That's our point. So you're proving the point. Just because you don't
I'm
agree
not
with it,
okay.
it should
Well,
still
uh,
happen. Just like you don't agree with the
are we
Native
going to have an
Americans,
honest
there's
conversation
still
here, or are you just going to
are
project
having
your
an honest
wants onto the
conversation.
world?
We're having an honest conversation. You say you don't agree with the Native Americans getting checks, but they still get them. So we should still get them too. All right.
Right, but you still haven't addressed the fact that we are not taking in as much money as we're putting out as a nation every year.
Yes, we're
You're talking about
fine.
adding spending, and then we're not even taking in the deal. Like, think about it as a business, Tariq. You don't seem like an idiot. Okay, so say you have a business, and you are already as a business. putting out more money than you took in revenue, and some dude with a really good moral argument walked into your business one day and said, "Hey, man, I'm going to need a little bit more of your profits because it's morally right that you give it to me." Are you going to say, "Yeah, man, that sounds great. You have a great moral argument"? Or I'll just go bankrupt and fuck me and all of the people up under me that rely on me for a paycheck? Are you going to make that decision? Does that make sense from any sort of logical decision?
That's too much of a whataboutism. That has nothing to do with anything.
It's
That has
directly what's happening. It's not what about it. It's directly what
happening.
you're
That's
doing.
not. That's the
It's
sky.
exactly what you're doing.
No, it's not. That's the sky is
Oh,
falling on.
explain to me how. Explain to me
No,
how it's not.
is it no? Giving us our reparations, that's not going to make the damn sky fall. You coming up with all of these Death Valley scenarios, that's just you fear mongering because you don't want to see us get our reparations. That's what that
I
is.
don't. I wouldn't give a shit. Honestly, if it would shut you people up, I'd give you the money tomorrow. But the
Mhm.
fact of the matter is, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It makes 100% sense because we're owed the money. We're owed the money.
But
So yes,
you're owed the money. I agree with you. Okay, let's me and you go on a situational here
right.
that
No,
I
no, no. Slow
agree
down.
you
Slow down.
are.
No, slow down. Look, if you have a cell phone, AT&T, and they send you a bill, you've used their services, you can't run to them with this argument you're making. Well, come on, dude, I'm running a business. If I pay the bill, my business is gonna, that ain't got nothing to do with the debt. You still owe a debt, dude. You still owe a debt. So you gotta pay the debt. That's what we're saying to the
I
United States
agree.
government.
I
The United
agree.
States
Then
government
how about
gotta
all
pay
black?
this debt.
All right, fine. Then how about all black people get on board and elect Trump and get our economy back where it needs to be? And whenever we ain't spending more than we're taking in, then y'all are like, okay, it's time to get that money back. Then I'll be on your side. I'll fucking march in the streets with y'all. But the fact
Let's
is,
get
you ain't looking at it from an actual logical standpoint.
let's
We
get
all
Marcel.
sinking in this boat.
Hold on, let's get Marcel back. Go ahead, brother
Okay,
Marcel.
first of all, Dustin, we're not in the same boat at all. Okay, because my people who worked and built this nation, fought for this nation, weren't allowed to benefit, and that wealth is not allowed to be passed down to us. Now, if you struggle, and I'm sorry to hear that, but that's not because of the government targeting your lineage. If I struggle, I could point to 400 years, irrefutable proof of the government targeting my people. Number two, let's stop acting like the American government works the same way as a business or a household has to work. If I have $100 in my bank account right now and I spend 150, I will be in debt $50. That's not how it works for the American government. The American government can generate as much revenue as they need. That's not me telling you this on the internet. President Trump even acknowledged that. He said the American government can never default. Not just President Trump. Alan Greenspan and Ben Bernanke, who are the chairs of the Federal Reserve, they are on Congress, congressional record, and not one single representative like Paul Ryan, who's a deficit hawk. Alan Greenspan told Paul Ryan the American government can never, ever run out of money. They just have to account for inflation. And Paul Ryan, who was big about the deficit and big about America spending more than they were taking in, he had nothing to say because he knew it was true. Third of all, let's stop acting like that is some scare tactic. Number three, America monetizes its debt. We don't get to do these things. We probably can't afford it, but families, credit unions, and banks, they buy something called bonds. Other countries buy it as well, and they pay people interest on those bonds. America gets a lot of money from that. America cancels debt. America is canceling trillions of dollars of debt right now. Truth be told, if America wanted to cancel all this debt, they can do that. Because when America has a debt, they only owe themselves. That's how Biden was able to cancel the student loans. That's how Congress right now is able to cancel the trillions of dollars in PP loans. Number four, America has always spent more than it's taken in. Ever since America abandoned the gold standard, since the Great Depression, America has always spent more than they take in. And it doesn't matter because America does not rely at the federal level on our tax dollars. I know we were taught that it does, but it does not. And America is showing that right now because the fact of the matter is America is spending hundreds of trillions when you think about the foreign aid, illegal immigrants, corporate bailouts, the congressional salaries, and all the things that America spends. America's spending has actually saved the economy. Roosevelt, Obama, and Trump are some of the presidents who have spent the most. And yet the inflation rate was very low. As long as you account for inflation, the American government can generate as much revenue as it needs to pay its debts, and it does. And I guarantee you, Dustin, do you have any veterans in your family?
Yes, many.
Okay, well, there you go. White veterans, because my great grandfather's a World War II vet. He's still alive. He didn't get to benefit from this. But 50 million white veterans benefited from massive government programs where the government spent trillions of dollars that allowed, and I'm not saying all white people are wealthy because I know that's not the case. I'm not saying all white people are middle class. But the reason why a white American is more likely to be in the quote unquote middle class than a foundational black American is because the government spent big on them. So if the government can spend big on illegal immigrants in other nations, then the government is going to spend big on us by paying us what we're owed. They can do it. They're not limited by taxes. And if they are afraid of that, they can cancel it like they're doing right now. We are not going to ignore that fact just because people don't want us to get what we're owed.
My
And
man.
they're paying reparations right now as we speak, by the way. Ask the downwinders. Ask all these Native American tribes collecting checks. Ask all these coal miners collecting checks. Ask some of the descendants of the intern Japanese who just got paid in the 90s. There is no hampering of America's ability to pay when it comes to anyone else. We're not buying the excuse they can't pay when it comes to us when they show us every day that they can. Thank you, Tariq. I land there.
Thank you so much, man. For Marcel brought the heat with that one right there. Let me get Andre, and then we'll get Dustin again. Andre,
Thank you, Tariq. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, sir. How are you, Andre?
I'm okay. I'm a social worker based in New York. I work with homeless, severely mentally ill, and substance use disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot about how poverty and racialized communities intersect. But I
Yes.
wanted to touch on some of the economic points because I did study economics, and I know that a lot of the narratives that are floating around about the United States economy is unfortunately it is disconnected from the reality. So I'll just read briefly from Bloomberg. It says the reserve status of the US dollar is declining more rapidly than commonly acknowledged, with numerous analysts overlooking the significant exchange rate fluctuations from the previous year. The global share of the greenback in reserves decreased last year at a rate 10 times faster than the average speed observed over the past 20 years. This is economics talk right here. As several nations sought alternative options following the sanctions imposed due to Russia's invasion of the Ukraine. Accounting for exchange rate adjustments, the dollar has experienced an approximate 11% decrease in market share since 2016, doubling that figure since '08. And so, when it comes to the United States and its allies, more economic factoids here. Uh, they are responsible for about 31% of the global GDP. I'm talking about the G7, the major Western, alliances: France, Germany, Spain, Japan
Okay.
is included in that. China and its allies with the BRICS organization, 33%. This is it's really a pivotal moment in time for the United States in terms of its economic development. It is in decline. And so we do have to be much more prudent than we have been in terms of how we are managing this operation that we call a country.
Now, slow
Last,
down.
go ahead.
Let's start. So, are you for or against payments of
Oh,
reparations?
we most certainly need repair. I'm an FBA, and I will
Okay.
proudly identify as that. I don't think that the dunking politically over one another is it should be prioritized over just sound reason. As you can tell, I'm really into what's reasonable, right?
Yeah.
What do we have in front of us? And so we do have to worry about the United States.
But we definitely have the United States history of this mistreatment, and the way that it runs the economy is largely through exploitation and oppression of, poor people, working class people. So,
Yes.
Black people have stood at the forefront to make sure that we acknowledge that, the economy is running on profit, and that commitment to profit is ruining the quality of the lives of most Americans. The housing, I'm a housing specialist. The housing is screwed up, healthcare, every which way you slice it. So, Black Americans started this off as the slaves in the slave trade, but it was for profit, and they used.
Okay, let me land your plane because your brother, you all over the place. I gotta land your plane. Yeah, you.
Well, he's spot on with a lot of the arguments that I was making.
Right, but he was all over the place. But um, we're still saying the economy is running fine now, and us getting reparations, the sky is not going to fall, and the country is not going to fall into decline. It's just not going to happen if we get
Well, but
reparations. That argument
I,
only comes up if we get if when we talk about us getting reparations, then it's just everything is going to go all to hell the next week, and that's just not going to be the case.
all right, fair enough, and that might not be the case, and it
There you
might
go.
not go to hell for another year or so. Let's say let's put it in a hypothetical here, Tariq. Okay, let's say that tomorrow it was passed that reparations for all, and for as far as reparations go, I'm talking about descendants of slaves,
Yeah,
not like African people that moved here in 2000 and have families and shit. They get shit from me. They get nothing from me. The hell with that argument. Okay, but let's just say that slaves and the descendants of slaves, we just caved and said the hell with it. We'll just pay it all. Fine. And all the black people that are slaves or ex-slaves or descendants of slaves, or well, it has to be descendants of slaves because
right.
slaves don't actually exist at this point, or ex-slaves. All right, so let's say we did that. Okay, you just had two people on the stage that the one was saying, the one was kind of trying to be on your side, and that's fine. The other one came out with arguments way for my side that we are declining globally. And so, like the first person, he said, the inflation, America's not going to go bankrupt, but inflation is going to inflect that. Okay, now, what does that mean? Okay, you hear a lot of politicians say that. So, what does that mean? It means that America won't go bankrupt. We can just keep printing money. We're the world's security service, this, that, and the other. But the cost of that is inflation. So for the middle American, or like myself, and I'm hopefully assuming a lot of people in here, or I mean, I take that back. I hope a lot of you are upper class and not struggling. But for the large majority of Americans, that we won't go bankrupt and it will just cost us inflation is literally hurting all middle class people and below. So, if you're going to conscribe to the idea that a lot of black people living in poverty, the idea that we can't go bankrupt, it's only just going to increase our inflation, is directly hurting a large portion of the black community. So
Well,
yeah,
let's
while we might
get
not
black.
all go bankrupt, a huge portion of your own constituency is going to be harmed by that.
Black Alpha, hop on, brother. Chime in.
Peace and respect, family. Peace and respect. It sounds like Dustin is anti-black and he doesn't want us to get reparations, and he's trying to come up with a million different ways to cover that up and camouflage it. But in reality, what it is, and every sociologist has proven this, is that reparations will stimulate the economy. And you got to notice, family, when these people talk about reparations, they act as if black Americans don't pay taxes ourselves. Okay,
Right.
we've contributed to the country, that the money has already been developed and will return to us. And America gives out reparations every day, just in different names. Foreign aid is American money that goes outside the country. Defense spending is foreign aid, that's reparations money, and that goes outside the country. And immigration is American money that gets spent on people who came from outside of this country. So reparations will stimulate the economy. It will be paid for by the American citizens, us included. The only difference between us and Mr. Dustin here is that he doesn't want us to get the check, and we know that we will get the check. I land there, brother.
Thank you so much. All right, Mr.
Hold
Dustin.
on, hold on. Can I speak back to that?
Go ahead, Dustin. Go ahead.
I was just like,
Oh, Dustin. Hello, Dustin. Oh,
issue here. Right? I had so much worry on my plate just putting food on my table that I couldn't give two shits if all black people in America and all black families and all black households made $100,000, $200,000 a year. I don't care. Like literally, I'm just trying to eat myself and feed my own kids. So the fact that you're going to put me out as anti-black, that argument, you can take that wherever you want to, but that's just actually not the case. Okay, I'm making a logical argument based off actual economics.
well, the real economics, and thank you so much, Dustin. The real economics is, look, the money is being given out to all of these other groups by the billions, and the sky didn't fall. The sky is not going to fall when we get our money. And again, Black Alpha and Brother Marcel, they're correct. Whenever it comes to us, all of these weird whataboutism scenarios that people come up with, a lot of it is really rooted in anti-black racism. They just the fact of us getting something exclusively that other people can't leech off of, that is the real problem. Because all of these arguments that Dustin is making are pretty illogical. Semitic somebody, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Tariq? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
We're doing excellent. Now, I do support reparations, right?
Yes.
But the only issue I feel like would come through would be like if you and Marcel, if you guys got that reparation money, I feel like you'd spend it all on Buzzy.
Well, you sat on that one, and you hold on. Let's let that sit. Let's let it sit. Let's let it sit.
No, it's
You
just Tariq,
sat.
because like the way you're doing it. No,
You sat on that one. Well, hold on. Let's let it sit. Okay, let's let that joke sit for a minute. Let it sink slowly, because you sat
it's
on
not a
that.
joke. It's a real concern, Tariq.
You sat on that one, and it didn't really hit like you wanted it to. Well, let's try another one, because that one didn't hit.
No, it's just like sometimes you scare me when you're doing your lives, like the way you squint in your eyes, smacking your lips, like it just like you just looking mad zesty, son. Like you need to work on that, man. Look more masculine.
You're projecting, so you're projecting your own femininity. Okay, so
No, you always do the projecting thing instead
you
of
are
just like reflecting. Instead
you're
of projecting, start reflecting, Tariq.
you're
I,
projecting.
I
You
thought you were
had
the pimpin', man.
your joke failed, and now you're projecting your own moisture. Wow, that's sad. All right, let's get to the real reason why you're upset. This passive aggressive trolling, that's a mask for you being a failed tether. Is that why you're upset? Foundational Black Americans were delineating from you, and now
No,
you got.
I get along with fatherless, buck broken Americans. I get along fine. It's just sometimes you guys whine a lot, you know? It's just you guys project that whining energy onto others, you know? It's just always like, give me. Like, why can't you like work on uplifting the community and building up self-esteem? Like, you know, because you guys do the whole thing where you guys want to be.
Did you do that in the country you failed and fled from, sir? Did you do that? Did
We're
you?
talking about you right now. We're not talking about me.
But why didn't you do that in your failed homeland? Why'd you have to flee?
Well, I mean, you say that, you know, the white supremacists ravaged our homeland. So, like, it's just kind of contradicting, like, oh, you fled, this, that, blah, blah. But it's like, didn't the white supremacists, quote unquote, destroy my homeland?
Yeah, they did. They destroyed your homeland. That's why you fled here.
Exactly. Now I'm eating off you,
Right,
making good money.
right. So don't you feel like a bitch because you had to flee your homeland and you're telling us to get it together and you couldn't get it together? You had to run like a hoe to black FBA daddy and mommy to make sure you're good. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't feel like a bitch if your FBA mommy's shining my shoes.
Nobody's shining your sandals. You know that. Nobody's shining your sandals. So let's get to the real reason why you're angry. A lot of you tethers are very angry because those failed homelands, and you're the face of poverty, and then you have to come over here and see FBA's doing so well, and that bothers you, right? Let's say that. Let's be honest
Well,
about
if you guys are doing so well, why do you guys have a 70% out of birth wedlock rate?
out of birth wedlock. That's not doing bad. That means there's a lot of people who are just not getting married, sir. They don't need to get
You guys
married.
are fucking and passing around HIV. Look at Atlanta. Look at
Oh,
DC. Nothing but FBAs just out here just looking.
in Atlanta, DC, FBA's, really? And HIV, are you really trying to go there, sir? Do you really want to go there?
I mean, let's get to the root of your old issue. You're mad because
Let's get to the root of really, boy. You do a lot of projecting, boy. Those HIV rates didn't get popping until y'all came over. You know that, right?
oh yeah, and then why do you try to blame Tethers for that FBA guy that he nutted on that Puerto Rican woman's leg or whatever the hell she is?
Because of the hairline. He's most likely Caribbean. That's one of your fellow tethers, sir. That's one of
So FBA men can't get balls.
that's one of your fellow tethers, sir. That's one of your fellow tethers.
You're telling me an FBA man can't go bald? Like really?
Well, if you get a janky hairline and you doing weird stuff like that to women, and yeah, most likely you're a tether. Yeah, that's that's the sign of one of you guys, a tether. So yeah, you got a lot of vitriol towards FBAs. I see that. I
I
would
think
too.
I think you're an angry closeted homosexual, Tariq. That's why you make.
That's you. Boy, you doing a lot of projecting. That's you, sir. You're the one calling up, whining like a bitch with the. Listen to your voice. Your voice ain't even masculine. You got a whiny, whimpery voice. That's you projecting. A lot of people project their failures onto people. That's why you follow everything I do. I can't be all of this stuff. You follow everything I do. Look at all of these random anecdotes of what I've done. You know them. You like them.
Tariq, I'm a Semitic white man. Like
No, no,
I'm
no.
superior to you.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Listen, you can pull up anything about me. You listen to me while you lay on your stomach, don't you? Don't you?
But like I said, you made a buck broken documentary about how you guys came from a long lineage of just getting buck broken by Irishmen. Corny FBA jokes.
Can you turn your radio down in your Uber, sir? Can you do that? I don't want to hear your music, sir. Is that your radio in your Uber? You
Tariq,
play.
and then on top of that, why were you ducking Myron? Because you were getting roasted, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you're
Boy,
getting
y'all,
destroyed with logic. So you kept deflecting about the homeland. But there's a lot of stupidity in the black community, and you just won't own up to it.
boy, y'all tethers be just lying to yourself. Is that the lie you told yourself so you can sleep better? Because I got on your boy and I destroyed all of your people single
No, that's
handedly.
a lie. I told your mother before I slept with her.
Boy, that was lame too. God, boy, you tethers are. No wonder you fail. Good Lord, your wit is
And you
whack.
failed in Detroit. You failed in Alabama.
Lord, no, you don't fail in those states. How did I fail, sir? You failed in your homeland, sir. That's why you had to immigrate here and you're mad. Boy, these tethers stay mad and they stay projecting. Boy, I think failing for a lot of these tethers, that messes with their manhood. That really messes with their manhood. That makes them feel like beta males and they have to do a lot of projecting onto us. They sit around with this vitriol towards us, man. They've been having this vitriol that y'all hear for years. And we're just now learning how deep rooted it is. And that's why we're delineating, and better late than never. Good Lord. All right. Should I get one more call? We got almost 1,500 people in here, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, the movie Microphone Check will be in theaters. Will be at the Landmark Sunset Theater here in Los Angeles this Friday. If you're in LA, go to microphonecheck.com, click on the show times. Go see Microphone Check in the theaters starting this Friday here in LA. LA gets it first. This Friday, Saturday, and the whole week. But yeah, starting this weekend, we want to see everybody at the Microphone Check showing at the theater here in Los Angeles. And then next week, Friday the 19th, It's going to be in DC, New York, Atlanta, Philly, Chicago. And we'll have the movie links up possibly tomorrow. But the LA links, you can get that now at microphonecheck.com, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get up out of here, man. It's been real. Shout out to everybody who tuned in tonight. Papi Akute, Lola Vuve to the family. Y'all be good. Peace.
It's the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, and we still have a lot of discrepancies as far as the origins of hip-hop, a lot of claims, who did what, who was the first. But at the end of the day, we need a definitive story, all right? And that story can only be told by the founders of this culture.
Like everything was being driven and influenced by young, Black, American culture.
The roots of hip-hop being Jamaican, absolutely false.
And that narrative that hip-hop has had 3 founding fathers, which isn't true. Hip-hop was created by a number of different people.
I am Coke LaRock, the first MC of hip-hop, first cat to pick the mic up.
I introduced rapping to the turntable because when I came with it, nobody in the world was doing it.
My name is legendary King Trixie. So I am the first break dancer.
I am the grandfather, the godfather of the graffiti culture. I am the first element of hip hop.
My name is MC Sha-Rock. I am a founding member of the MC/rap culture.
They want to come in the mix, they want to say, we started. No, you didn't. What came to be known as hip hop was solely an African-American creation.
If they get the real truth of how it all was created, then so many lies would not be able to be in existence.